thoughts and politics and social commentary and meltdowns and laughs and ribbing and everything in between, including the infamous 36 episodes where we just emasculated KG, which is still one of my favorites. You can also, on each week on this feed, we got K100 Rehash, which is a very popular best of show. We also got a K100 Tops, where we pick a political, pop culture, sports topic of the week. We also got K100 Sports and the K100 Mailbag, all of them doing great numbers due to your patronage. What else do we got on there, Joe?
Yeah, the $15 tier and up is where you get everything early and ad-free. We're going to get full segments uncensored. And then $25 tier and up, you get all the video segments that, we've been doing like 2-hour video mailbags recently. People really, really dig that. And also for the $25 tier and up is where you get a monthly plug. You can shout out your podcast, business, website, YouTube channel. You can shout out your wife's birthday, whatever you want. But if you're advertising something, whether it's, like I said, a show or a t-shirt,
I'm ready to get started online.
Because if you were to pay for an actual ad on the show, it would not be $25. So you're really getting the steal there. And like Conan said, the archives are there. So if you wanted to hear from 2016 what these guys thought prior to me coming on about the election back then, the 2020 election, COVID, all that stuff, let alone the creation of AEW, the first everything, all on there.
You took your sweet time loading this shit.
Mailbag, which means these guys ran
Let's get this shit going.
About their careers and the present day view. So it's well worth it. Like Conan said, the Patreon shot up a little bit last month, which is great, and people are digging it and they're sticking around. So if you're a fan and you like catching it for for 2 hours a week or whatever, for the main show, you want more, Patreon.com/Conan.
And for a special offer, if you go to Philadelphia and you bring Joseph Fireball and put him over for the same amount as an ad, he will let you, for a plug, he will let you plug him or plank him. It's up to you. Joe's a very giving person. That's why we love him. And I will put him over. He's been doing an excellent job. What else do we got here? If you've got any questions for the mailbag or for the Juicy Steel or for the Frankie Kazarian or the Delicious Tan, and Nick Aldis is still on probation, even though he's a WWE GM, musical selections. For the Juicy Steel, you can send them the K100questions@gmail.com. Make the letters short so we can read a grip of them. And our Stilo, we always over-deliver, whether it's on our extra shows, the main show, or Patreon. We've also got a very popular YouTube channel managed by the Irish Lush clickbait master himself, Hughley, which no, I will not do your show, not on your house, not on any Irish holiday or your birthday. That's available at Keeping It 100 Official. Just a shout out to two new members from the paid YouTube, Reginald Mullen and Antonio Fair. And Hughley writes this little ditty on Antoine. I said Antonio, it's Antoine Fair. He just rejoined again for about the 19th time. I was like hearing his name on the show.
Guys, you've probably heard of Viagra or Cialis, and maybe you've even tried them. But are you looking for something beyond the usual pill? Meet Legit Ready. Other companies rely on similar ingredients right on the site. Get it off today. Use the code to support.
That's a question.
Yep.
What did you write down in your notes for 37 minutes and 15 seconds?
For 37 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah, you wrote a note down for 37 minutes and 15 seconds in your notes.
Okay.
Come on, sneeze.
Cody, you went dark. I forgot to go mute and sneeze.
Oh.
And it was funny because when you sneezed, Joe turned around and immediately wrote in his book like so Joe is always ones and twos. He's
waiting on two more to join us.
Comes out.
I love to have you with us.
You came on and had misinformation.
Well, he got suspended live with misinformation, correct? Oh, he had self-admitted misinformation, correct?
Right, he did. Yeah, he confessed.
He admitted he confessed to me. He still got this.
Yes, we're gonna get bigger.
Misinformation. That's the.
Oh yeah.
So look, Frank Azusa, they're saying In and Out's better than Five Guys. He's going to appeal later as well. Rustin Weller saying something that the food talk is.
Wait for the drill. Dory, we ready? Let's go.
Dave Taylor from Addicted to the Blade comment, and Grayson Waller from Not Asking a Question.
Let's go to the picture really. The first one, the Jewish Mexican from Nebraska. Question for both. If you both have made a good living in the world of professional wrestling most of your lives, sure it's hard to imagine, but what career would you have seen yourself doing if wrestling wasn't a factor? Disco, I could see you being a lawyer for sure, because let's face it, you'd love to argue. Joe, even you can answer this as well. Thanks for the content, especially on the Patreon stuff. Yeah, my mom thought I should be a lawyer too, but I'm like, I'm not going to school for 8 more years. Forget it. So that was, you know, no chance of me doing the schooling that you were required to be a lawyer. I hated school.
Even, I mean, I would have extended, like...
I wasn't, like, when I was in school, I wasn't drinking coffee. I was always tired. I wasn't motivated to go. I was just, you know, it's just different. If I had been drinking coffee, I probably would have been more motivated, more attentive at school, but I just couldn't wait to get out of it.
I was going to say that could, you know, look at it like extending the college experience, but then I realized you wanted to pro wrestling, which is basically still running the road and part of it.
What about you, Cole?
Anything I would have put my mind to.
When I was younger, you always like, I would have been a writer, I would have been a grant. And I think at this point now that I'm older, I wish I would have went into like the trades. A lot of my friends are steam fitters, and they make a good living, and really good benefits, life insurance, all that good shit. So I would have been. I wish I would have done.
I think there's two options. I think like a welder, which is a which is actually a high-paying job, but I think welders are like 120 a year. So it's a very decent job. Do you think you would have been a welder, or do you think you would have been a bartender for the pool bar?
If I had to guess, he'd either be working at Wawa's. That's number one, yeah, taking food home every day. Yeah, and number two,
steal the food.
I go there. And then number two, ordering like meat and cheese for Gino's. What's that?
Gino's Steaks?
Yeah.
Yeah, inventory manager.
A beef and cheese prep, like when the cheese company, like
the Shire beef.
No, he works for a cheese company, and like the cheese they sell to the local place to sell the cheese sticks. So he drives down the truck and drops the cheese off and something like a cheese wrap.
If I would have gotten into trades, I would have been fire watch. You know, he feels like that all the time. Because here's what the fire watch guy does. He stands on the work site and he goes fire before the fire.
That's it?
That's it.
How much is that for?
I think the last time I heard was like 21, 22 hours.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
And identify a fire?
Yeah, it's unique.
Oh, Vegas, by the way, all the hotels are unionized.
Even the Patina station.
Yeah, it's funny because like this is like a daily thing on Twitter now. Like the people like news, everybody and mother is talking about, oh, why is Vegas something do this? 100% it's traffic. Because like everything we're talking about, like, you know, it's just very difficult to go down to the strip now, especially for locals. So they're losing a lot of locals going to the strip while staying out in the suburbs.
But you know, Joe sent us a article, and one of the reasons they gave, and I agree with this, is that think about this: 20 years ago, right?
Right.
If you wanted to gamble, you probably had to go to Vegas. There weren't that many Indian reservations.
Correct.
You know, right?
No, there's other gambling options.
Right. Now you can go online. You don't have to spend money parking, buying drinks. You know what I'm saying? You can just do it online.
And I think another thing too is people are more like the
Come on, help me, yo.
Yes, they're more introverted.
Yeah.
Shit, what the fuck y'all doing? Help.
They're not looking to drink, they're not looking to chase girls.
Lazy fucks.
Vegas always figures it out. Like, you know, so. When the baseball team stars, there's just different things that they always adjust. They always figure out. You know, it's like these are people that have like became very rich. Like the casinos have become very rich, figuring out how to get to some of money. You know, so they go from there. Our next is from Diego from Dallas. Besides Larry Dallas, which other guest speeches I think has got the most negative feedback from the fans? Is it Hugo's been most trying to put himself over? Harry does a great job. We've only had 3 people on the Lucha. We've had 4. Okay, who's been on Lucha 7? Second time.
Anna, Roy, Harry, and Hugo.
That's it, right?
And Larry and Rudy.
How would you rank those, Tony? Let's do the AP top 25 on Lucha.
What the fuck ever?
Top 6. You know what I'm saying? Pick the best.
Between probably Harry and Roy, maybe.
Harry and Roy. What about fine about
Kevin too.
Yeah, but Kevin's more of like a kind of like came up with marketed stuff. You know, kind of like
Right.
yeah. Carrying away. Yeah, for knowledge, I guess.
Yeah.
But people brought it last week.
Oh yeah, and if people, me and you, yeah. Did you see put up a flip disco and people argue?
Yeah, they love
No. Yeah, we put it like me and people argue stuff. Big word for the Minute Land. Stuff with movie character gimmicks. Many wrestlers we love, including one currently reading this, have gimmicks heavily influenced the characters' movies. There's all three of you are cinephiles. I was wondering if there was any movie or TV characters you thought would be great reimagined as a wrestling game. I asked you because last week Joe recommended a YouTube channel that makes mini movies about characters from Sopranos, Wire, and the Boardwalk Empire. I couldn't stop thinking about how amazing Richard Harrow is for a wrestling game. Continue pushing Conan. I hope this goes back to a better, and thank you to Joe for interacting with us members so often. It's from Big Rig. Is that Big Rig or
Yes.
Joe? Where are you interacting with the members?
DMs or Twitter. Email. Yeah.
Hello, Pride Time.
Facebook. Yeah, Patreon. Hello. Yeah.
How come you don't? What happened with
Everywhere.
Discord?
It's kind of like dead, I think. That's what I hear. I mean,
You're not in there like, nobody from the show is interacting with them.
well, no, everybody's separated into their little cliques and they talk amongst themselves.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what I hear.
I guess that's what happened.
People stop to talk to people.
Alright, so Luke and Brothers, a lot of characters in this is basically Razor Ramon. Sarah Banks, on a 10.
Yeah, Razor.
There's so many of them. And
I think I
Good
always
job.
thought that a serious Mafia gimmick would work, but it always seems like I haven't seen the guy much in NXT, so I don't know. But past Mafia gimmicks were always like a joke, like comic. I always thought a serious monster. All bosses kind of thing.
we already did that though. The Mama Luke
They
were
did.
actually
Tell 'em.
entertaining characters.
Yeah, but it was comedy.
Yeah, but Johnny and but they could be serious.
They could, yeah.
The two of them were actually very good characters.
Yeah,
You know?
that was fun.
What about you, Conan? Like movie characters and things like, tons of them. Like, who'd you
Well,
do
Benny.
movie characters?
There's so many to choose from, but I tell you one that I would have liked to have seen. I would have liked to have seen a black and white tag team after the two guys, Jules and the Pulp Fiction and Travolta.
Oh yeah, Vinny.
The suits with the things, like,
Right.
Yeah.
I was
Also thinking like the Miami Vice would have been a good game for the two.
That would have been.
Like those guys. But back in the day,
Yeah, back
more
in
so
the day.
bad. Yeah, they like nobody really capitalized on that. That could be hot, right? Yeah.
like a Raven, Sullivan, Jake Roberts character hasn't been successful since then. You haven't really been. I mean, Bray.
All right.
You haven't even
The Raven and Jake were both drug addicts.
need to be a drug addict.
So they're like whole thing kind of like they were kind of real like that. And it's actually it's a very interesting.
Y'all got two more.
It's like if you look, they were actually performers, and they had substance abuse problems, but they still performed very well. So it's like
For the people that are interested, if you check out at the Raven Effect on Twitter, Raven's Twitter, he puts up there's been announcements about a documentary which is it's playing in Boston next weekend, the 23rd, I believe.
Okay, we'll have to review it.
Yeah.
Can we bury it? Will Raven get offended to bury his documentary?
I think he's taking his charge.
Joe, tell Raven.
Yeah.
Do you expect if it's good or if it's bad? Even if it's good, do you ask him if he thinks that he's going to put it over? I'd like to know the answers.
Yeah. And then it's also coming up
Joe,
in
what do you think that's an interesting question to ask?
Yes.
Yeah. So whether it's good or not, does he think we're just going to bury it regardless?
Eventually, there's going to be like a home release in Blu-rays and probably on Amazon or something. So you guys all do it. Right now, it's the
Or just
small screenings, Jim.
it'll just be on YouTube in a couple of weeks.
Probably.
That's his joke.
I like Joe trying to promote it. This is a Blu-ray.
And I'll be in Boston.
Amazon Prime, Netflix, YouTube in a couple of weeks.
I'm going to go in Boston for the premiere, and I'm going to be at the Arizona Canada the next day, which is
Are you
really
going to Boston to premiere?
insane, man. Yeah, for the weekend.
What is that?
Next weekend.
Next week, the 18th. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Next is from Joe Mack in Brooklyn. Joe, what's up, Brooklyn? What's up, fellas? First off, I want to commend Del Dojo for getting Fuji in line with the YouTube channel. The horrific A thumbnail is only 70% terrible now. Actually, Fuji has taken to heart what we instructed to do, and he's much better with the thumbnail, right? Anyone have questions for all three of you, I love your music talk, especially Jeff Castle. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, Joe, for 2 weeks, we need college football preview, and we have to do a pro football preview too, and we should bring some. Let's bring Cats out for them. We got a very Detroit losing in the first round of playoffs, so he's so excited. Yeah. Anyone that questions for our preview, let me know in the comments, especially Jeff Castle. What is your Mount Rushmore of rewatching movies? Not necessarily the best movies, but just the most rewatching. For me, by far, it's Die Hard. If I come across Die Hard on the TV, and it's like the first hour of the movie, I find myself just stop it and continue to watch. But I think that is some of the best, most hysterical movie stuff. Is like when they first take over the thing, and the cops are just showing up, and like they're shooting at the lights. And like, it's just great character development, right? Yeah. Like, you have the heel, it's like, you have established heels, okay? Then you have the cops show up and they're incompetent police, okay? Right. Then you have the FBI come and they think they're the start. Then you have the media guy come up and he's a scumbag. He just wants to get the story, he just wants to, like, kind of, it's really great storytelling, great writing for a movie, and it's definitely my goal. Would you agree with that, Brennan, about Die Hard? Yeah. Why would you disagree with that?
That's not true. That's not one of my rewatchable movies.
No, but you disagree with him on, like...
Oh, no. 100% on.
Yeah, you agree with that. Yeah. Excellent character development, I think, like, yeah. So, what's your go-to there? You watch it?
Anything Tarantino, anything with Scorsese and De Niro, Scarface, Godfather.
The top 10 mafia movies, you can't, you know.
Yeah, you can't, right, you can watch Casino. Right?
Yeah, Casino, Goodfellas, Godfather.
Yeah, I'd say Pulp Fiction, Departed, so that's where everyone's recording. Let's go with The Shawshank Redemption, you know, with the down. And,
that's a good one too, I'll watch that.
Oh, Uncle Wall Street.
Hello, Daniel.
Yes.
I always like to catch myself watching it. Big Country from the Discord. Hello, gentlemen. Hope all is well. Oh, man, that's one of you, my favorite wrestler with gout. Cheers, Conan. Your help is always in my thoughts and prayers. I'm sure you get a lot of thoughts questions from you. My question is, why should he be retired? I read a lot of potential, but at the same time, he had 3 years of an uninspired run and didn't get any kind of reaction until people realized he might be leaving. All of a sudden, the crowd loved him and wanted him. Came in 2022, did something Drew and Ray went nowhere. He's put in faction, did nothing, and will all let go. So I'm curious why they would re-sign him right away. I'm afraid it would be a rod-killing situation all over again where there's tons of crowd support, then he comes back and does nothing, and everyone forgets about him until they ultimately get released again. Thanks. I don't want to know what's going on with the Cross thing, because I think if he comes back, it's a surprise. I think it's very interesting that he's getting released, but he's going on the book tour, which kind of coincided with his thing. So he couldn't literally go on a book tour, just be off TV, let the crowd cheer, we want that, you know, I don't know. I want to see what happens here. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to know for sure if he's like going. I should technically told him.
I think the best thing that he's done is the videos recently, and of course that coming up in Mania, allowing and being allowed to let the people know who he is, not as a part of his cross. And he's feeling this way. And that's really, I think that's what's gotten people into it. He comes across really smart, really sharp, tough, you know, he's got it all. But it's going to be on, if he comes back, it's going to be on. See what they're going to do.
They've never really done this before. This is an interesting gimmick to attempt. You know what I'm saying? Where you got a guy by with just like, we're gauging online buzz, we're getting rid of the guy, we're just seeing it like, it's never done before. So I don't know, it's an interesting, there's a million things you can do on this is the whole thing.
When they released Matt Hardy 2 years ago at this point, because of the Lita and Edge thing, he was gone for a couple of months and wrestling Ring of Honor and whatnot, and then he would do backstage attacks and stuff, and that was similar, but not, because Cross isn't being released during the feud because of personal things, you know. So he's a little different. It'd be like a film, you know. So,
do you have any thoughts on this one? Well, actually, maybe this next one too. If the coach is saying that. Take care of the Captain H now, substitutes Philip Cross and more Dumby Durban. Take care of the group, help out the artist, you can push the Philip Cross. First, I want to say, one last thing about Mike Dumby Durban. I know the infighting gets annoying on the show, and it gets annoying to me too, and I'm normally going to say, I'll just send in questions to enjoy the show. Mike, the whole don't think your faces thing is just done. What is it, Mike?
when he says, like, the count is the trash, and it's anonymous.
Don't think your faces thing is just done. I'm a family man, shoot cases, who shows an escape report. That's it.
How the fuck that happened, man?
This is really something, huh? What was it? It sounded worse than Hugo to try to defend his point against Disco regarding WWE and Real. Don't put a stay in your lane. Ultimate question. How did you find your great knowledge not realize properly basically clearly Fox checked every single box? How can they not push it to the moon? Even though steps above with his vignettes, ability to go so dark in his promos, his real etc. Why don't you decide not to have you one of the top stars? Yes. Don't forget to head to MikeDurban.com and get your fun and major benefit.
I've always been of the thinking that when promos and character development is at a premium, because remember that adage that USA used to do, they would say we do characters. A character, whether it's Ronald McDonald or the San Diego Chicken or whoever it is a character, and they're very appealing. But he's top level character work. I could definitely see him in a movie where he's like a top guy. You know what I'm saying? Because he has that ability. I think WWE saw that. The fans obviously saw it. Hey, sometimes you can't be in it because I think the guy before said he was in a feud with Drew and Ray. Well, you can't be in a feud for 2 or 3 matches and then cut it and expect that to go anywhere. You know? So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I worked with him, Disco worked with him, and he's very special.
And guess what? We have some great news. Eventually, let's get the fight back to the high five. We have to play this
with your energy.
Thank you for the number next year. Hey guys, hope all is well. Everyone's remember the Jericho. Oh, he's on Fozzy Twitter. Right. Hope all is well. The questions is the Disco. Last week's epic showdown between Hugo and himself. With Hugo was carried on about Travis Scott reaching 360 million people a month on Lucha Online. Did you really think to just yell, Manga! Manga! Shut it up. Also, just watch the Cross documentary, the Killer Part 2. Also, think he'll eventually return to WWE. Do you think he needs to change his in-ring style slightly when he does return? I feel like the crowd loves it, but the moment the bell rings, he isn't keeping the same connection with the crowd. Thoughts? That's crazy. I don't know, as I said, Cross is a very difficult style. Because they train him in NXT to kill people. When they come up, they did like, you know, so it's like...
Yeah, and that's how I booked him. Right. He was undefeated and he beat everybody, but here's the thing, bro, they put him in a match with Sami Zayn how many times? 3? Right. He's got to have a long storyline arc with everything that it entails. Backstage promos, run-ins, you know what I'm saying? Everything. And we can see his growth then. But you can't put him in matches, 5 matches, and expect some miracle out of the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Most dudes, like, you go back, it's like, we were all watching the show back then. His booking at NXT was fantastic. They used all of the skills, stuff like that, and basically guys showed up, you know, and then just
ready to go.
All cleans now.
Yeah, so it was like I said, if you go back and look at that run that he had in NXT, it was like, they're building this guy for a perfect character in the main roster. Then he came up and they took, but Vince was still in charge, they took the girl away, they put a helmet on, they won, they took his ring entrance, you know, just marched him out there like he was a nobody. It's like you completely knew it, like literally like dude, it's like you got a dog, and it's a stud dog, and it's having a bunch of breeding and everything, and you neutered it, you know.
Yeah, they made a huge mistake, bro. I'm a huge Jeff Hardy fan, and I always feel that he deserves more than he been given, but it did not help him at all to go in and lose him.
Right. You're going against Jeff Hardy's like what? I mean, he's a character, but he's washed. Like beating Karrion Kross, it wasn't a big win for him. You know, so it's like I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's difficult, Disco, because if they hadn't presented him as a killer like Conan did or like he did in NXT.
No, his NXT character has not been presented on that show.
And he's a squashing, dude. He could do the Taz things, just dropping motherfuckers on their heads, suplexes, choke out, boom, minute and a half, you know? Yeah. He's having 15-minute matches back and forth with Zayn or Drew. It's not going to present him.
Well, that's the difference between NXT and WWE.
Hmm.
You know, WWE is like you have to like. It's so weird. They have this style and they plug you in and you have to be able to go 14 minutes in like a freaking regular match. It's just like it's just something I vehemently disagree.
Right, because bro, a match doesn't have to be over 10 minutes to be good.
Right. Next is from Eddie Nichols from Los Angeles. What's up, Caleb? This week my question is for Conan. With Triple Mania taking place this weekend, what was your original main event of booking vision for this year's event? Specifically, before AAA was purchased by WWE and you had more people sharing creative responsibilities with the company. For example, last year you booked the Battle Royal featuring guest appearances by Kenzo Suzuki and Mark Jindrak, as well as the Heroes match, where each section's arena had a different rival of those, including yourself. P.S. I'm also very curious to see how Triple Mania plays out this year, especially since there are so many different details on the card. Only 5 matches like a PLA, no traditional mixed tag match featuring Exotico, a mini, a woman, and a luchador. Thanks as always for the great content.
We probably would have done some sort. We would have done ADR versus Latin Lover, or ADR versus Latin Lover or ADR versus somebody, maybe somebody that Latin Lover picked if he couldn't wrestle, with Dorian Rodan's hair on the line and Latin Lover's hair on the line, something like that.
That Vampiro thing sounds cool. A rival with each section, you know, like that.
Dan Burns, subject, don't cross the boss. So since Cross got pedigreed out of existence, will Disco give him a shot at bouncing the sapphires? As Cross already planned on making another YouTube video about crying, but he didn't like eating shit sandwiches. Maybe Vince is right to dress him up in a red mask and outfit looking like Sean Connery from 1974 Zardos. I know everyone is saying his own work, but I think just like Vince said to Austin.
Okay, for what?
The fire. Triple H said, I've got 2 words for you, you're fired. What's next for your buddy Cross, Disco? Woman up in TNA, MLW, or taking Scarlett to AEW to show Tony what a real woman looks like? Let's suspend this guy. He's trying to get a shot.
So, yeah.
It's his first email letter, too.
She was man enough. It's always about you, people. Listen to shit.
He's already produced a movie and he's written a book.
Fed on.
See, that's done. You think he's done?
Sit.
And something that is not easy to do in WWE.
Well, you try to be playing some beat in.
When they weren't doing shit with him.
Yeah, sure did.
Next to mid-card Mark. El Hijo de mid-card Mark is El Hijo de Fat Chick Thriller from New Bedford, Massachusetts. The subject is Brad Armstrong. Interesting, Brad Armstrong's been a topic of conversation. His name's been coming up pretty regularly. I was watching 2 out of 3 folks match with Brad Armstrong and some great videos recently, and it was that was an excellent match. You go on YouTube and watch it. The match went for over 20 minutes and barely had any high spots. It was just Brad with his selling their asses off each other the whole time. It was incredible. Got me thinking, why didn't Brad become a bigger star? Not surprised he never became world champion. He didn't have great mic skills or out of the ring charisma, but inside the ring he did have charisma. As smooth as salad, could sell as good as anybody. So I do feel that he underachieved his career, and we just need a mouthpiece. But either way, he was certainly worthy of the first U.S. title run. How do you guys feel about it? Mid-card Mark, that's from New Bedford, Massachusetts. Bro, it's so sad. It's not sad, but okay, Brad Armstrong was working in a period of time where like
he was on doing this.
Like Georgia Championship wrestling and stuff, everybody had good mic skills. He froze in front of the camera when it became time for promos. Like he just he just didn't have it at all. And you could not go out there with like poor mic skills and go anywhere above the card than a mid card, which is what he was the whole time. His work was fantastic, but he just could not. He just did not have any personality when that light went on. He had to
You need 2 more.
You know, it was just, he just had this mental.
2 more to join us.
Bullet Bob could cut a promo.
Excellent, yes.
So could Road Dogg.
Right. he just had this thing. It's just like this mental block. Maybe because I don't know what it is. But like I'm wondering, like in the back of his mind, he thought his brothers were so good at it. He don't want to bear it. He just could not get it out. But like you can't, bro. You could not book a guy like that.
Shit, I guess this is two of us. We can make it if we try.
Stuff. You know, because he would torch you on the mic, and you couldn't match with him on mic. It's like the wrestling fans are kind of weird like that. You don't have the mic skills. They don't really get behind you like they could. You know, he's still very popular because his work was so good. You know, so Frank Graham from Azusa, California.
Yeah, this is an appeal.
Yes. Another appeal. Yes. Appeal for my erroneous suspension. All right, he's already got a yellow card for calling the suspension erroneous. All right. Last week I was suspended by Disco for saying I enjoyed In-N-Out over $5. If they wanted to say that an In-N-Out burger is equivalent to a Burger King burger, then maybe the most ridiculous thing said in the history of the Keep It 100 podcast. Keep this in the same podcast that has featured winners like Kevin Gill, Billy Body, and Larry Dow. I've included a link to a YouTube video with a late great entry for Dave calls In-N-Out one of his favorite restaurants in LA. According to Brock,
Who's running,
same
bitch?
Yeah, it's another. We're still talking about it.
According to Brock, Paul Giamatti celebrated his 2024 Golden Globe for Best Actor in Comedy Musical for The Holders at an In-N-Out in Westwood, Los Angeles. He was photographed with his truck eating burgers and fries and led a seamlessly reference the viral moment of his Choice Place Award speech. He needed an endorsement for In-N-Out because it's just a good burger. Also from Brock, Gordon Ramsay, the celebrity chef known for his high-quality standards, has called In-N-Out the only fast food burger I'll eat in the 2017 interview. He praises consistency, saying it's always the same, it's bloody delicious. In-N-Out burger at half the price of $5. My question, if I win my appeal, is about the upcoming fight between Canelo and Crawford. We're not going to place any money on this fight. Canelo is still a favorite at minus 190 according to DraftKings, and the over-under is set at 10.5 rounds. Thanks and God bless. The curiosity talk that he did this his appeal. And all he did in his appeal, it still does not. Everything that was said here does not make it better than Klaus Ratz's suspension tonight. And the Canelo and Crawford.
No, over this a lot. I don't think Canelo's knocked anybody out in like 4 years.
See what I did.
He's become a lot like Floyd Mayweather. He makes sure that he's in matches he has just about every advantage, except for Bivol. Beat his ass. I think Terrence would beat him, but bro, he's got to go up 2 weight classes. And Canelo hydrates better than just about anybody I've ever seen. He'll probably be 3 weight classes above him if they get in that ring.
My only thing with this is if Crawford can take the punishment and defend himself well enough for it to be a handle. Do we see a similar situation like we did with like Manny Pacquiao and the Margarita guy? Where Margarita is definitely bigger and stronger, but Manny it still packs a punch, but it's just so quick.
Bring it on.
Same thing with Usyk. And what's his name? Fury. We'll just use it. He's smaller, but he's still big enough.
Come back. You ain't getting nothing.
That the bigger guy can't hit him enough. He's got enough packs enough to punch that he can do damage on him.
There's a reason why there's weight divisions.
Yeah.
You know, and Canelo's going to bully him and bowl him and press him, and he'll catch him.
The thing is, they're knocking him out for the first time in 4 years. It's the first time he's gone against that small of a guy, so maybe he doesn't.
Yeah.
He can't pack a punch here. Actually, wait, has he? Did he knock the guy out of his last fight?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Look at Canelo's. I
just looked at it. Yeah.
Look at his recent fights.
Oh, no, it's right here.
4 years?
Yeah, TKO in 2021 November.
Caleb Plant.
2021 November. Yeah, that's what I think.
Next is from Murray the Furry here. What do make it Tony Khan confused to say who will have ownership in the lawsuit for the camera guy? What are they hiding? Is Dave Gin and Juice and Molly Meltzer involved? I don't know. That's very weird. That they tried to push this to federal court. Like they're fighting this, and to me, this whole lawsuit, I thought it would be just write the guy a check. Because visually, you got the guy getting assaulted on camera by boxing, who is not a pre-planned thing. And maybe they think the guy's milking them for more money than he's owed. But like, you would have thought that this would just be very simple. Now they're dragging it out instead of just paying the guy, and now they're getting that press on it because they're like, the judges gotta transparency. And they're literally not wanting to deliver the transparency that's getting sent back to state court, which is just weird. This isn't like a $100 million lawsuit. I think this guy's, what's the guy, Joe, look up what the guy's suing him for, how much he's actually suing him for.
Wasting your
because
time.
this is all I can't see why they're fighting this so much.
25,000.
That's what he's suing him for?
For the AI, yes.
Well, the lawyer's fee's got to be more than that right now. He's got to be sued for more than that. Like for damages. He's sued for punitive damages too? There's no way this is a $25,000 lawsuit and they just didn't cut this guy a check. It's got to be more.
Yeah, no, just, yep. So you're suing for injury suffered due to the actions of the rest of the company you work for, and an amount I don't know why it's worded this way, in controversy that exceeds $25,000. So it exceeds $25,000. He's pursuing damage for medical costs, disability, permanent and serious disfigurement, lost wages and earning capacity, pain and suffering, blah blah blah.
That number's got
exemplary damages. This goes.
Exemplary damage. So that might be So they're worried that they're gonna get like maybe taking the cleaner shots, maybe. You know, I mean the guy.
You don't want to be alone. You don't want to be alone. You want to man it up to hold the man. Hold the lyrics together. You want to you got a lot. Getting out of pocket. You're a star.
They want to keep it under wraps.
You ain't sitting on make syphilis.
Like this, seriously, if you actually think Tony, who was $8 billion, needed investment from Dave Meltzer to run this company, of course not. So Dave is no guy. Anybody think Dave is absurd. Now, is Tony paying these guys and causing coverage? You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't do that. So,
bitches, you're man.
Step back. Yeah.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, they ain't. No.
Oh, yeah, I did. The mayor, but not a kid.
Don't care about you. Oh, now you want to get me on
the first week of September. My wife and I played stuff.
Oh, now you're trying to get me on your.
They hit us with good food spots like Letty's Authentic
Mexican
Restaurant, which is on Guy Fieri's Triple D. Don't go there. This goes.
Man, because he don't like you.
When are you going to be around a work trip and visit you? What is the number for the staffers, etc.? How about that? Has anyone been suspended from the mailing in person at your club? I'd be honored to have an in-person suspension with a respectful handshake. P.S. Durbin and every now and then Harry Reid's complain and have to say they're both all right. And we have to be some garbage's hiding. That guy sucks. What an idiot. Why did you get Letty's Authentic Mexican Restaurant? Hey, let me tell you something about the Vegas Mexican restaurants. They're extremely overrated unless you go to the food trucks. Like the food trucks are the best tacos in town. The go-to buffet, obviously, is the Banal Buffet at the Caesar's Palace. Excellent. I might not be there. I might be going home that weekend to do my fantasy football draft. I don't know yet. And the number is 702-869.
Come on, bitch.
Suspend this guy because we put the number on every single week.
Yeah, we'll get suspension for that question. 1 week. Well, yeah, you don't have to worry about it. You're suspended in the club. I'm going to suspend you right now. That's your stupid question. For 1 week.
Here comes the boom, shakalaka. The nigga.
Steakhouses. Not even the freaking Mexican restaurants. Just because Guy Fieri, Jonathan S. He's pissed. He's Canada. He's climbed up lockdowns. Oh my god. Have you heard about this? Interesting. I'd like to get all three of your opinions on the nonsense going on in my neck of the woods, eastern Canada. Provinces have enacted.
Damn, you suck, man. What the fuck you doing?
Walking trail and biking trails are off limits as well. It was enacted in Nova Scotia this week and close to follow New Brunswick, my province, and Newfoundland. Basically, taxpayers are told to stay with the town lands, etc. All because we haven't had rain in a few weeks. They call it a heat wave, but daily temperatures in the 80s doesn't constitute a heat wave. I don't know anyone might comments. seen the video. He's an open base fan. His punishment is sign as a long-time Cleveland Browns fan. There's so much wrong in this. So they're going to put you 6 months in jail in Canada if you have what do you call it?
If you even walk on the
campfire.
He owns correct.
6 months in jail if you build a campfire. Like, these people are so worried about. I can see like you're worried about forest fires and stuff like that, but like you're literally telling people that are competent, like that like you can't do this anymore. They're like literally like campfires the fires are arsonists. Like you're not going to stop people from arsonists from going starting fires. I don't know, like. Well, there's so into climate change and like woke shit up in Canada, so everything is like a crazy up there, you know?
Motherfucker abandoned me like a coward.
Well, if the weather conditions are such that maybe because of an accident it has nothing to do with competency, a fire gets out of hand, or a wind comes through and blows it, or fucking what are those called?
Man.
Those
like a lantern?
Yeah.
Gas lantern thing?
One of those were to break and start a fire with the conditions that are very dry right now. You want to go camping? Go to your fucking backyard, light that motherfucker on fire.
Here's like
I would put you in jail for 6 months.
This is a quick clip. It's like a couple that says, "Hey, we're going to Canada," and then a Canadian guy saying, "Yeah, here's what you have to look forward to."
Goodbye, Donald Trump. We're finally moving to Canada.
Oh, you guys are actually doing it this time. Sick. Well, welcome to Canada, where the average house is 3 times less affordable than in America, where wages have fallen by 15% in real terms over the last 10 years, where homelessness has doubled over the last 4 years, where a judge ruled that you're legally allowed to identify as a woman in order to get cheaper car insurance, where it's now a criminal offense to hold over $10,000 in cash, but you're allowed to buy cocaine with a credit card, where we spent $40 billion this year to lower our CO2 emissions by 4 megatons, only for China to emit the same amount in 2.5 hours, and where your guy is probably just going to buy us and make us the 51st state when we go bankrupt anyways. But hey, at least we've got fully subsidized birth control, safe from the media, and hassle-free euthanasia.
Well, it's a mess up there. Right? They're like all the woke shit is just like infested that country. It's ridiculous, you know.
The country is selling cocaine.
They legalized, like they thought the way to like stop like. Don't you look that up?
I'm looking it up.
Like Canada legalized that. I thought they legalized drugs in some areas because they thought that would be a way to fight homelessness. And it's so freaking like every progressive politicians have the fucking worst ideas. And they don't even think them through. They don't think of the consequences there, and they put this shit in the law. And it's like what on earth are you doing? You know?
Well, they're still seizing it at the border. There's like 4 stories recently of all these big cocaine seizures. But it says that from January 31st, 2023 to January 31st, 2026, personal possession of 2.5
Man, now boom, here comes the boom, here comes the boom. Okay, ready or not, how do you like me now?
You got coke and shit every day. They don't arrest you anymore. I mean, what?
And opioids, meth.
Are you ready to take your sports fandom to the next level? With the FanDuel Sportsbook app, you're always in the game. Bet on all your favorite spring bit. He had said that he's done it. Okay, now so all right.
What does that mean?
Well, he said it's case, so let me read you this. So my good friends Conan and Disco read an email from a disgruntled former brand member who stated that I said
Boom. Here comes the responsible. Here comes the
and a reason to go on and bury me by saying that, quote, I don't understand the business. You guys just got worked by a mark and don't understand the business. And I don't understand the business. Also, to set the record straight again, I told Joe Feeney there was no point in going on the show. You could never get a word in edgewise with Disco, so what was the point? I never thought that these two guys were all about clicks, but I guess everyone is these days. I've always told you guys, there are no friends in wrestling. There's more tweets here too, Joe. I think I said I would discuss. I said I'm not going to waste any clicks, and I will address this on the show, because why would I waste clicks, right? Because that's all, well, just for the clicks, right, Conan?
That's...
To set the records, I don't believe I've ever said Rhea Ripley isn't over. As a matter of fact, I state the complete opposite on many occasions. Man, there are just two shills out there going out of their way to try and discredit me. One is already working for the WWE. The other is trying his hardest to get hired. If trying to discredit me will help you get there, then go for it. Just thank me if it ever happened. Did you put Jeff's tweet up? Did you get Jeff's tweet too, Joe? Jeff Wayne got it on there. Okay.
Oh, the one that I have is he has Vince's comment. But did you want something else?
I play this.
Yeah.
So these guys are freaking out over this. We're going to say this about Rhea Ripley, right? Good.
Arguably, on this show, the most over woman on the roster, on Raw, on this show, arguably, would be Rhea Ripley. Vince, they used her for a 15-second backstage segment yesterday. That's how you use one of
Vince has put over Rhea Ripley, okay? So do you have the email that the guy sent in? Because he says there's a disgruntled brand number, all right? And I do remember him saying this because the guy, But my take is, you have a show?
Yeah, I just need to make sure the guys are
Okay. Okay. What's up, P100? I mentioned on the point that I recently canceled my subscription to Russo's brand after years. Joe told me to explain why for the show. I still like Vince, but he's completely off the rails with WWE critiques. The final straw for me was him saying Rhea Ripley wasn't over. Why do you think he would say that? Okay, so just tell everybody this is what we do. What's that guy's name? Ben? Whatever?
Yeah.
Alright. The guy just
I ain't been in this way in a long
okay?
time.
This information. We do not report. And if we report information, we're correcting it. Okay? Vince didn't say that. However, on the second point we said Vince does not understand the business. Okay? I will double down on that. Vince does not understand the business. Because the business is the money. Okay? Vince keeps reporting that the WWE sucks, the creative sucks, that we're like, dude, they're doing record business. And you actually have been on the record to say that the WWE is charging too much, which actually shows that you do not know the business because you're telling them that they should be making less money. All we ever try to do in the show is acknowledge that the WWE is doing record numbers, so our critiques of the show, if we think it sucks, there must be something that they're doing right to keep selling.
I don't know, but I go home after this, and the smother bits where I know where y'all gonna go.
Anybody can listen to them.
That's fair.
Okay, we're absolutely not shows. Okay, if you think that we are, fight, we're shilling for WWE and anything that we say. It's ridiculous. Any comment on this?
Well, before Tony goes, I did throw Jeff's tweet up there as well.
Yeah, they can never bash Meltzer or Dirt Chief, which we do all the time. If you think of listen to our show and they're talking about something they think is great, which we never do, okay? When their source of news is the mailbag and the Facebook group, and they don't fact check anything. Yeah, I'm not fact checking anything. We're not freaking news. If we report something that's inaccurate, we come on the next week, we're correct. So, Vince, I apologize for us going on the rant that you said Rhea Ripley was over. Was it over? But I am not correcting that you have no clue about the business these days because basically if you keep reporting that WWE sucks and they're doing record numbers and signing record deals and keep making money, it's like it just sounds ridiculous. You got any comment, Conan?
Do you have any comment, Joe?
Right the titty, bitch.
Started. What it was I was getting seeing a lot of comments on the Facebook group, the Brains, of which I'm a member of, and then I saw some on Patreon and then on emails of people that were like, I don't listen to Vince anymore because of this and this and his critiques. He's too overly critical of WWE and stuff. So we started talking about it on the show, and they, Vince and Jeff seemed to take that personally, like as if I was saying their brand is failing, people are leaving. And I was just curious why people were saying that. So I would say, yeah, tell me what your problem is. But they were a little angry about that. Yeah, no, I respect it. I think Jeff's mad at me, but I accept we have similar position. But yeah, man, we have this
great girl. It's all over the internet. It's over the internet.
That's just their opinion.
And if you guys report it, it's like community notes.
Anonymous.
We'll correct it.
Anonymous code.
It's like, bro, they're freaking out over that. It's so absurd. It's just
anonymous code. You believe in it.
Okay, we said Rhea Ripley's is over. She is. Okay, we all agree on that. So finally,
kill this
me and
guy.
Vince, Tony, and everybody agrees on
No, you do. You hated me first.
Are you going to comment?
You hated me first.
The first thing that he said there,
Hated me first.
saying something like, "Oh, you just got hurt by a man." Well, how are we supposed to know that? We don't. If somebody sends you a letter and says, "Hey, Vince, Disco
Be a
that says you don't know
I
shit about
raise you.
business,
Get
and
it. I
then later
want
on
to be a
in life, you just got worked by a mark. How are we supposed to know that? We're just answering whatever we're
I'm
told.
jealous.
Like Disco said, if we're wrong, then we'll retract that statement. I don't really Vince. Straight up, I like you, man. I don't give a fuck what you think about me.
You should be defended.
Nobody never has been.
Not apologize.
Disco know me
Too
long
big
enough,
a
and
bag.
you know me long enough to know that if there's a guy that's always had a heat in this business for saying what he feels, it's me. Okay?
Eat you
So
up.
I don't have
Eat
to
them
be
up.
showing shit.
What
I
you
don't
don't
even
like?
show when AAA shows are bad. You know, I just say what it is. And
You got the heat over the years. I don't think you should be as open as you are for talking about things.
so don't come at me with that shit. I don't really think about you unless I see
Yeah.
you doing something.
Play
You
this.
know, I told WWE I
Oh,
worked
you
with them
won't.
for free. Or
You know
I
you
told
hate this because
fucking
you treat.
what's this guy from AEW? I'd
Oh,
be willing to, you know,
Yeah,
work
yeah,
there for
my
free.
services for
What's
free.
Yeah,
up?
I'm not
You
gonna talk about
excuse
wrestling never again. I'm not gonna
I don't do that. No, you can say good man. You want loyal no weight?
But it's you're not that big of a deal, dude. Get over yourself. You know,
Nah,
yeah, you don't know the business. You think that WWE, yeah, I do work there. But at the same time, if you think that they're not doing the correct business moves, there's a reason they're setting records everywhere they go.
Yeah, jealous.
Let me say real quick, the guy
Tried to hop the rail.
And the other thing, Jeff,
It's like hopping the board and you got shot right away, bitch. It.
I mean, don't make
Boom,
it
boom, boom.
because you're just collateral damage. You're just, you know, backing up your boy, which is commendable. But I could give a fuck what you have to say either. We're not a fact checking thing here. If we're not sure of something, we will fact check it.
Oh man.
Fucking over 5 hours a week. You can't fact check everything just to keep you guys happy. And if we were about clicks, this show would be a way different show.
Let's do.
Oh man. They put a plant in that shit.
Yeah,
but they paid for that shit.
The guy Ben that emailed in was a long time email. It wasn't like someone created this email to Barry Vince. So I'd say to Ben, you know, I know you're a long time contributor. Let us know what we're referring to. If you think or you heard Vince say that he didn't, you know,
Pop the damn barricades. You got her ass hitting with a shotgun.
It's something that easily could have come out of Vince's mouth, so why would we fact check that? He keeps saying that he said, like, why would we think it was fake? He said Rhea Ripley is wrong. He just posted how Bailey's never been over. But that's enough. So Vince said, I hope you're happy. We corrected the error of Rhea Ripley, but I'm still very adamant that yes, we not understand the business in the year 2025. Obviously not. So that's very crystal clear. So John Cena comes out. That's a babyface.
Got a flat tire.
Embraces the fans. Enjoys every second the fans doing their thing. But it doesn't last forever. You thank you, Cena. It's just so funny, man. He's just like, yeah. Like all his shtick was like just fake and bringing some of this little shtick things. But so the fans put up with him saying one of the lead with honesty and vulnerability. He's afraid no matter how much the fans do this limited time, he's just going to end up on the ground. He's afraid to let WWE move on, the fans forget about him. Then he's even afraid of Lesnar. They don't know what universe would actually choose Lesnar's opponent. The fans have known for a long time there's no universe would actually back down from Lesnar. He's afraid that Lesnar down has a big John Cena clout. Cena said he's not going down without a fight, but Lesnar comes get something. Cena said that anyone who chooses to face him should know that he's going down and doesn't play. He said, you want something, come get something. This is a good promo, I thought. Do you like this?
Yeah, I just like how they just ignored the guy was a heel for like 2 months.
I agree, but the promo was so good, and the fans are cheering for him that, like, let's just forget about all that. Just pick up the big face stuff and start right here and just go forward. Because then we have about 8 appearances left in this guy. You know what I'm saying? So,
I don't feel young then.
yeah, I imagine that's what they're thinking. The local politics out that this version of Cena is making him sick. He's going to kick people. He said he's been real since day one. Does Cena saying that Paul was WWE better than any professional wrestler? Cena recalled saying that I had the Paul's biggest dumbass he's ever seen in his life. Paul Cena a liar. Told Cena what to say. And Paul said he loved the match of Cena. Told him to be careful what he wishes for. Paul said it would be Cena versus Paul in a beautiful French country right in the middle of France. Under the face of a flash.
I'll be back. Hold on.
Came in the ring and hit Cena from behind. He put the boots to Cena. Cody's music played. He ran the ring. He helped Cena play the ring. Cena saying it sounded like Cena said it seemed like Paul and McIntyre want to fight. It seemed like he might have a partner. Cena proposed Paul and McIntyre with Cody and Cena for later in the show. What you think of this segment?
All right.
Yeah. Do you notice what they're doing? Remember, like I said about six to 8 weeks ago, we were talking about how flat the tag team divisions are, right?
Right.
And I said, you know what I like? I like getting two like A-list guys, putting them together as a tag team. Now they're integrating with the other teams. And it seems like they could be going that direction because they're definitely doing that with Charlotte and Alexis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like you could be doing this with like I think Jake Paul and Drew McIntyre would be that's a good act. You know what I'm saying? Like just make him a tag team and give him one. You know, with the Bucks for all.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against that.
Yeah, might as well. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Backstage, Kelly are going to be the machine guns. Chili had his ribs taped, but the same his shoulder was taped on his jacket. So they didn't even know they're selling the black table TLC. So the road back to the top would start now, and so it would be their entrance. Did 14,707 in the arena. This crowd's really unbelievable. One of her Powell's POV from the first segment.
Yeah.
The Montreal crowd is red hot for Cena, who's decked out with Montreal Canadiens colors. But now for the tag team match with the Pleasant Supply, the Pfizer didn't advertise that Cena would be wrestling. Well, it's disappointing that Cena didn't spend time trying to explain his character shit the crowd would see the ball. Pretty much sums it up. So the Machine Guns wrestled the Tonga, Jason, and Monster Stash. We affection for Jason Taylor. Because it used to be Monster Stash and Uncharted. And so Tonga and Jason Taylor were over. Solo stood in the ring with his crew and told the fan to take a look because this is what greatness looks like. So they beat him and they get a put on the ring. Solo said Tala and Monster Stash should soon be tag team champion. Solo said that he was in his gear and feeling good. There was no one there to fight him. He and the MFTs are going to leave and go so fast. It's just a call. I think all this said from the stage. All this said that since Solo seemed ready for a fight, he also had a special guest who was ready to fight. Said it was someone that Solo knows well. Sami Zayn comes up. He's very Montreal. And we do Sami versus Solo. We all try to the heels try to distract him. Sami fought off the distractions. Worked the spike, ducked under it, and hit with a one up for the 3 count. And Sami gets his win in Montreal. What do you think of this?
I don't know. I like, I know you like Solo. I don't like his crew. I used to like Jeff Cobb. They haven't really booked them strong. They definitely don't book the Tonga Loa or whatever. They don't book him strong. They kind of book the big guy strong a little bit, but they're not anybody that, they're not booked strong like, let's say, Seth Rollins' faction. You know what I'm saying? Where you're like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. But to get, I mean, they got the belt, U.S. title belt on him.
Big fucking deal. Then yourself, the belt doesn't make the guy.
Right. So Charlotte and Alexis spoken backstage. Flair said she knew it was Bliss's birthday Saturday. They corrected herself, said she didn't know. She saw it on the company calendar. Said she wanted to do something for Bliss's birthday, and Bliss wondered what it was. Whereas when she thought she wouldn't give it to her the following. They're just telling the story here. They're obviously doing friendly things with each other while pretending they're still not friends with each other. It kind of leads to some really corny comedy for this one.
Very corny. Yeah. The same person that wrote last week's verbiage wrote this week, I don't want a present. Here, you take the present. I don't want, you know what I'm saying?
I wonder if a female writer is writing this show.
Whoever it is.
You think so? Maybe you have female
I don't know. I don't, I would assume, but.
Do you think Kevin Sullivan wrote this? Maybe what would have written this?
Who?
Kevin Sullivan would have written something like this?
No. Yeah, but at the end of the day, bro, they also have input. Charlotte could say, I think this is corny, right? Or the other girl could say it,
I think they might. I think that they might think it's funny. And it might be funny for a younger generation of fans. Because we're just something, we're older, so like this is out of my rules and stuff. Like I'm going to say, maybe all the stuff that we don't like coming is because we're like on the end of the belt.
To me, funny's funny.
I agree with that. Right. So they gave over Wyatt 6 a little bit of verbiage in their video.
Making a sink mistake. Okay, I'm back.
So it's very basic.
I can take a. You know what?
Talking footage here in the TLC match. And Rowan said the Wyatt story has only just begun. So Conan was just started. Deep fan. That's the Street Profits. What Rowan meant.
Jeez.
What do you think he means by that? They just started. So DIY and Ciampa showed up. Ciampa blamed beef out of the Profits for a massive bruise on the way out of one of the thighs. When they all bickered, and Nick showed up and said he thought the TLC match would have calmed the tag teams down. Then he would get control of the division and starts next week at SmackDown with the Street Profits versus DDR. Yeah, so Charlotte and Alexis come out, and the ring was decked with balloons and cake and a gift box. And Flair said Bliss's birthday fell at the same time as a championship celebration. She said she could have made it all by herself, but she decided to share the spotlight. I actually thought that was a good one. Bliss said the cake, we saw the cake, and congratulations, Charlotte Flair in big letters with the Lex in small letters. With a long P.S. Happy birthday. So Flair opened the gift box and gave Bliss a new Lily doll with a We're Not Friends t-shirt. But Flair said that Lily also needed a tag team partner, and Flair introduced a Charlie doll with blonde hair. A Charlie champ.
I know.
It's Flair gave permission to hug her. Bliss said she didn't know if it was really necessary. They hugged the Queen, Lex said. And then reluctant Bliss approached her for a hug, but they were interrupted by entrance. Chelsea comes off the stage with the secret purpose. But the fans agreed that she's a proud Canadian, but the fans supporting Flair Bliss didn't want to turn in her face. After Green healed the Canadian stock and Flair told Bliss she would also give him a gift to keep him Green's ass. If Nick wants sport that, guess what Nick said? He saw golden opportunity here, so he comes out with the referee, which stopped Green from leaving, and all this wish Bliss said happy birthday and said his gift is a brand new referee. And said the new referee's first assignment working for match between Green and Flair. There you go. What do you think about that? What do you think about Nick Aldis seizing the opportunity to make matches from the
That's all he ever does. And here's the thing that
This is what Jim used to do back in the day, right? But,
right, I just felt bad for Green, you know, like she had ended up in the cake.
right. Holding the match.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Backstage, Carmelo knocked it on Aldis' door. The Miz answered. Dave's wasn't happy to see him and said Miz said he was going to help him, but then disappeared. Dave said he was going to talk to Aldis about a U.S. title match, but Miz stopped and said he already went to Aldis after the tag team match for next week's show. Miz said they were good. The Miz shook Miz's hand and walked in. When Nick showed up and asked what that was all about, and Miz said Aldis was just the man who wanted it. Can you get this? Can we get anybody from the WWE to be on the show? Yeah,
I'm going to ask this weekend.
see if you can get Miz. Because I would like to talk to Miz about fantasy football, because she's a big fantasy football player. Do you know that?
Yeah.
He's played it for years. He plays in all the celebrity leagues, too. Charlotte Flair versus Chelsea Green. So, take a while to guess what happens here. The first is straight interfere. Wets a bliss punch. Charlotte wins. Easily, and Chelsea Green ends up in the match. And she ends up in the cake and takes the pin. See, they gotta put some heat on it. Like, just being a comedy heel, just always doing the job and losing and getting made fun. Like, you gotta do something heelish, you know?
Yeah, like they do with Logan Paul.
Right. Yeah, Chelsea, I just think they put the Chelsea comedy character, period, and they just, every once in a while you gotta put heat on the comedy character. Because then they don't...
Come on, let's go.
Trick ponies, and oftentimes you end up changing the channel after a while if they're just doing the same shit over and over. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Stratton spoke to Captain Kelly, and Stratton spoke about how she continued to do what she's done for the last
Rock's gonna be a problem.
and keep it the her title. Jade showed up as a stretch and thanked her for sitting on the road for Jade to be the champion. Said the story would be different next time. Stratton said the story would be different, but the outcome would be the same. Kind of very generic verbiage from Jade again, and I thought Stratton was very comfortable here again. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Stratton is being more comfortable in her character. Kiana James showed up with the woman Chevy Julia. I like that Kiana James. That's a good look. You like that little her out there with her?
I don't think she adds anything because she doesn't add anything.
I think she's attractive. You don't think she's attractive? She has it's an attractive girl added to the show. I mean, like this is nothing else. But James shoot Kelly Lane said they were off the record. But James handed Jade her card, told her to give her a call. She was serious about taking the fight. What do you call it? Jade said she would do it on her terms and her way. And James told her to hold on to the card, just in case. Julie said for working with James. The midget showed up with a candlestick and asked Jade if she was going to do something with the card. Jade told her no and handed her the card. Midget said she might not give James a call to get a title shot. I get the feeling that whoever's writing this shtick, watches AEW, and a lot of the other writers probably don't even watch AEW, and they don't realize this is totally half and half right there, with the card. Right, and
everybody behind
me too. This is actually good. I love this question. Now, do any babyface characters other than Legion and Zelina Vega care about the Women's U.S. Championship?
It is a good
Dude,
one.
we're on like 12 weeks of TV with
Yes.
like just those characters, like in this little like U.S. title, you know. So what do you got? Oh, they advertise Naomi versus Sky for the Women's World Championship, right?
Right.
On SmackDown, and Naomi got hurt.
Right.
Okay, so Aleister Black video packaging said he's an eye for an eye for life. He's an eye for a life kind of guy, which is why
Yeah, escape their asses.
Priest. Like I said, when someone pushes Priest, he pushes back.
Be back for the rest of tomorrow. Then on Friday, I'll be back with this on my brother's birthday. Maybe in the morning. Maybe
was when he first came in. Anything resonated with you?
in the evening.
Yeah, I concur.
All right. John Cena's walking back.
But I'm done with this.
Basic Truth reverted back to
Sayonara.
his Truth character. So they said they act like they were mirror images. They were doing like a Panama thing. Truth said if the Cena was